Welcome back, everyone, from the lunch break. Council, if you're ready to continue, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome back, Mr. Witness.
Zero, Bismillah.
Before the lunch break, we were talking about what happened when you were redeployed from the NIA. So, can you tell us what happened? Where were you redeployed?
Back to the armed forces.
I was taken back to the armed forces.
As what?
Yes, defense headquarters as Director Intelligence and Security.
I was taken to the defense headquarters as Director Intelligence and Security.
Okay, and what happened in November 2009? Remember, you left in August. You left the NIA in August 2009.
August 2009
Yes.
And November 2009, what happened?
November 2009
November 21st, 2009, young arrest.
I was arrested on the 21st of November 2009.
What time were you arrested?
About talankilin suto la kata talankilin suto dal.
1 a.m.
Where did it happen?
Kita na kordala kono.
It happened in my house in Tallinn.
Who were the arresting officers?
Dolmu soldier leti.
Some were soldiers.
But NIA officer bijemu alaji morti.
But there was an NIA officer who was Alaji Moor and Idrissa Job.
Who led the operation?
Suto malon jumalabe itol ko jumalabe nja because group not.
I don't know who was in charge of the group that night because they came in a group.
Kindly tell us how it happened and who are the people involved.
I was lying down at night. Before I go to bed, I used to lock my gate. I'll get into my room and also lock it up. He jumped over. He jumped over through the door. He came to the door of my room and then knocked at it. I got up. I came up to the door and I asked, who is it? They said to me, if you want to know who is it, open up the door. But at this time, I was undressed because I was already in bed. I did figure out that in my current state, I could not open the door. I went back to dress up. They forced their way through the door, broken the glass.
How did it happen? How did they do it?
Whether they used the gun, but they forcefully destroyed the door and they came in. They broke my glass. They came in. At that time, two of my little boys were lying at the sitting room. So, I was in the bedroom. So once I heard the noise at the door, I rushed and switched on the light. Because I did not want them to step on the little boys who were lying at the sitting room. That time I had already put on my shirt. I said to them, what's going on? We have come to collect you. I I said, but even if you come to pick me up, if you knock and I ask who is it, just identify yourselves. I have not done anything which will stop me from opening the door. And I am not going anywhere because I was born here and I am a citizen of this place. So, I have not done anything, and I don't think I have a reason to leave this place or to go anywhere. You came at a time when I was undressed, and that was why I went back to put on my clothes. But you did not have that patience to give me that time to dress up, and you broke into my house.
Who were the officers that entered your house?
I recognized Alaji Moore amongst them. I recognized Noah Badjie, but the soldier boys, I did not recognize them.
In your statement, you have provided a list of people who were involved. So you recognize only Alaji Moore and Nuha Badjie.
I cannot recall the others.
Do you know which part of the forces Nuha Badjie belonged to?
State House. State House.
He was at the State House.
That would make him a state guard. Have you ever heard the word jungler?
Yes.
Do you know whether he belonged to that unit?
Yes.
How did you feel at 1 a.m. in your home to see people break into your house and you are able to recognize Alaji Moore and a jungler? What were among others? How did you feel?
Moliene ya yela bunda konkong yela bunda kati dui kang andu kono menu nate kang yemen sude je iko Alaji Moore aning Nuha Badjie memwaron ko anu jongula la wodi yow ko je nyaadile
aku en jakal
it surprised me.
Were you scared?
Sila tale bang
ani silo man sila
I wasn't scared.
So what did they do after you had that conversation with them?
I said to them, allow me to go and put on my trousers. They said no. But then Noah said, no, allow him to put on his trousers. But when I was getting into the room, to go and put on my trousers, one of them wanted to come inside there. I said to him, no, my wife is asleep. You cannot come in here. I said, please. I am going nowhere. I'm just putting on my trousers and then we'll go along. I don't want to create any noise which will wake my children who are lying. So, I went inside, but he came and stood by the door, opened the door, and he stood there watching me. I went to the wardrobe, took my trousers, put it on. I came and I told them that I was ready. And they told me, let's go.
Where did they take you?
Yes, I'm
mile 2.
They took me to mile 2.
Did they tell you they were taking you to mile 2?
Mile 2
No.
Okay. So tell us how it unfolded that you found yourself at mile 2.
When they took me from there, I was asking in my mind, what happened? But I did not ask anyone amongst them. But I made a comment while inside the vehicle. Why would it be necessary for you to come to arrest me and break in my door? Alajimo, do you not know that even by just merely calling me, I would have come out? I said, but what is the use of breaking my door and breaking my glasses along the way? I heard one of the soldiers said, sorry, sir.
It's too late.
I said to him, it's too late. When you had the intention of destroying me, that time has passed.
So they took you to the NIA?
Yes, I'm by NIA.
Directly to Mile 2 prison.
No, I meant to say Mile 2, sorry.
When they took me there, I was taken directly to Mile 2.
Tell us what happened when you arrived at Mile 2.
Yes, somebody reception.
You took me to the reception. When I got to the reception.
Sorry. Yes, somebody Mile 2
So we got into Mile 2. They opened the door of the vehicle, and as I was alighting, I saw Omar Bung. Another vehicle, I saw Omar Bung. I saw him being brought down from another vehicle.
That was around what time?
I believe around after 1 or 2 days. Around after 1 to 2 days.
It is around after 1 towards 2.
And Omar Bunbai, what was his rank?
Omar Bunbai,
Brigadier General.
He was a brigadier general.
And you, what was your rank at that time?
I was a major.
And then what happened when you saw Bunbai? Both of you were being brought out of the vehicles.
Surprised.
I was surprised.
And then what happened?
In some reception.
He took me to the reception.
Documentary. Phone call particulars on ta.
He took our particulars.
Belongings.
They took our possessions, our rings. They took them from us.
Did they tell you why you were brought to the NIA during that time? Sorry, prison. Did they tell you?
No, they did not tell me.
Did they afford you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer at that time?
No.
So where did they take you in Mile 2?
Maximum security wing.
You took me to the maximum security wing.
Which is otherwise known as confinement wing.
Confinement wing.
Which number?
Number Juma.
Block 4, cell 4.
Block 4, cell 4.
We have received extensive descriptions of the conditions of the cells. So we won't bother you with that. For how long were you in those cells before you were questioned about the reasons why you were brought to the prison?
What you want to get the selo in kono je katara je janning be kuma da ke nyinin ka dalilo me ya sabu ye na dige mile 2 je.
I think it's more than 2 weeks.
During those 2 weeks, were you able to communicate with anybody?
Because
No, because nobody wanted to get close to me.
So you were held incommunicado? For 2 weeks?
More than that.
And what happened after that?
One day they came to pick me up.
Yen samba to NIA headquarters.
They took me to the NIA headquarters.
Nimu watol te miyana ko doku wat holo.
This was during the working hours.
Kabri yen samba yen jindije.
When they took me there and I disembarked,
I remember NIA staff, so everyone, Milbaby Santo, Milbaby, they were all coming down to shake hands with me.
I remember the NIA staff, those who were in the story building up there, came down. All of them wanted to shake my hand.
Eventually,
I believe they were not pleased with the whole situation. They took me inside and I was made to sit at a particular place.
Which place was that?
Office investigation.
It was in an office investigation.
And what happened next?
To face a panel.
That was how they took me to face a panel.
And do you know who are the members of the panel?
Don't remember, no?
Yes, I can remember some. Yes.
Tell us.
Numo BJ as DG NIA.
Numo was there as the DG NIA.
Numo who?
Numo Kujabi.
Numo Kujabi.
Proceed, please.
Solo Bojang Suto.
Solo Bojang was there.
Solo Bojang of which force?
Solo Bojang Tanko Bundajuma.
Gambia Armed Forces.
Gambia Armed Forces.
Yeah, Bora Koli Suto.
Bora Koli, yes.
Bora Koli.
State Guard on the GAF.
State Guard on the GAF.
Yeah.
Jongula as well?
Yes, yes.
I believe. Okay. Who else?
JPB Gomez.
You had JPB Gomez.
GAF also?
GAF.
Gambia Armed Forces.
Alaji Kamara Soto.
You had Alaji Kamara.
GAF as well?
GAF.
Yes.
Yeah, Alaji Sise Soto.
You had Alaji Sise.
Which agency, which organization?
GAF.
GAF.
Yeah, Yankuba Badjie Soto.
You had Yankuba Badjie.
Yankuba Badjie, which institution?
Agency, NIA.
NIA.
Lamin Cham.
Lamin Cham.
Police.
Yes.
Police.
LS.
LF.
LS. Ma akontong nyinata wala.
I forgot the surname.
Does the name Lamin Sanyang ring a bell?
Lamin
Which institution?
Police.
Mr. Chair, just to inform the Commission, we have a video of his appearance before the panel. The audio is not very good. We are sending it for enhancement. If it is enhanced, we would tender it in evidence. Otherwise, it won't be of much significance apart from to confirm the names of those who are present in the panel. So we will see how it goes, and I'll advise the Commission later.
Noted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Proceed.
Sukuta Jamme.
Sukuta Jamme. Yes. Which agency, which organization?
NIA.
NIA.
Who else?
Ninjuma.
Can you remember no at the meantime?
These are the ones I can remember at the meantime.
Luis Gomez, was he part of it?
Luis Gomez, for Fananda.
Yes.
Alaji Moore, was he part of it?
Alaji Moore.
Yes.
Was he part of it?
Fanambeje.
Yes, he was there.
Sehu Jallo, was he part of it?
Yes.
Sehu Mantra at the initial stage.
Sehu was not at the initial stage.
At the later part, at the night.
He came in the later part.
But let me understand another fact finding.
But what I understood was that he came on a fact finding mission.
From where?
Abominto. Abonam president.
Coming from the president.
To fact find what?
Verify whether the allegations were true or not.
So what happened while you were there?
While I was there, He asked me,
what?
Munna.
About 2006 coup d'etat.
About the 2006 coup d'etat.
And what did they ask you?
What they asked me was,
lantom montamba adabe 2006 coup d'etat kono.
whether I do not know that Lantombo was part of the 2009 coup d'etat. 6 coup d'etat.
How did you respond?
I told them I don't know.
And then what happened?
They told me it is not true. I told them it's the truth. Who amongst you would have fear here that I will not speak the truth? I told them I'll only say things that are very clear to me as the truth. I told him that I was not aware that he was part of the 2006 coup plotters.
Did they make any other allegation?
Yes.
Tell us.
They asked me if we aren't planning a coup d'etat.
But before that, about 2006 coup d'etat, didn't they tell you anything about a person called Emeba?
2006 coup d'etat nying fo imam mola kuma fo bay ka me Emeba.
Ha iya fo nyene?
Yes, they told me.
What did they say?
Yemuna fo.
Yenyi ni kale for Emeba ma fo ko 2006 ko lantom montamba dabe coup d'etat kono.
He asked me whether Emeba did not tell me that Lantombong Tamba was part of the 2006 coup d'etat.
And how did you respond?
I told them it's a lie.
And what
he never told me.
And what happened after that?
They said to me whether they can call Emeba. I told them to call him.
And then what happened?
Then they called Emeba. I was surprised. The time that I knew Emeba, he was in prison. And the time I knew him, he was a lieutenant.
But Emeba in full combat with major rank.
But that day, I saw him dressed in full combat, and he had a major rank. He came and sat in front of me.
At this stage, what was his status?
He was dressed in uniform.
Was he a serving soldier or was he a prisoner?
At
this time, he was an active service member with the rank of a major.
Okay. And what did he say?
Asita?
He sat down. They asked me about him.
For Emeba ma fonyeko lantomombe kudeta planka.
Whether Emeba did not tell me that Lantombong and others were planning a coup d'etat. I told them he is not speaking the truth.
At that time, did members of the panel say anything to you?
Solo Bojan Wilton.
Solo Boyan got up. Where I was seated. He found me there. He slapped me. I said to him, Solo, am I the one that you are slapping? Am I the one you are slapping? I said, no, I think you've lost. Yes, you are lost. You are so powerful that you are slapping me. I said, well, God is good.
And then?
After that, they asked me whether we did not speak with Emeba. They said that Emeba said that while he was in detention, I called him. I told him that he is not speaking the truth.
Headquarters.
I was working at the headquarters.
Detention.
Emeba was in detention. How can I call him? I told him I did not call him. I got a message. He sent a message that he wanted to speak to me.
Is late Captain Solomon Jame.
And the guy he spoke to was the late Captain Solomon Jame. I told him, but Emeba was in detention. How will I speak to him?
And did any member of the panel say anything?
O mo lembe sirinjo kisi la fo e kuma soro le ba yemen fo ba.
Eko to nyante.
They said it's not true.
Ko apetiat.
I said it's good.
Le fam femira.
Whatever you think.
Are you okay?
Do it.
But besides that, did they make any suggestions to you?
Okola fo kusoro le ba yemen mire ba.
Nko ndiam sukutale.
I spoke to Sukuta.
Ko Sukuta?
Sukuta who?
Sukuta Juma.
Sukuta Jame.
Sukuta Jame.
Ko Sukuta mune bekiri?
I said to Sukuta, what's going on?
Kwenye sa yalong.
He said, sir, you know.
Iba understand.
You will understand.
Kaya mune understand. Alafu nye mune bekiri.
I said to him, what will I understand? Tell me what's going on.
Kudeta minkita in 2003. 2006, sorry.
A coup d'etat that took place in 2006.
For good 3 years.
For good 3 years.
You
are now bringing that case today. What is the reason behind it? He said to me, sir. He said, well, you will sacrifice.
Sacrifice to do what?
I said to him, sacrifice to do what? He said to me, you will accuse Lang.
Let's get this straight.
Jantilindi.
This is very important. You're saying that a state agent was telling you in the presence of 14 other people to falsely implicate Langtombong Tamba on a coup d'etat.
Langtombong Tamba dundi coup d'etat kono mealon ko fania
coup d'etat, I meant to say.
Coup d'etat la.
Ha.
Yes. It's something that happened.
Just a moment. You already told them that you did not know anything about that.
Yes.
In a sense, you were telling them you did not know whether or not Langtombong Tamba was involved in any coup d'etat in 2006.
Yes, I told him that he was not a part of it.
And you're telling us that Sukuta Jame told you that you should make the sacrifice and falsely implicate Langtombong Tamba in that 2006 coup d'etat.
Sa ifambo drawing ye Langtombong Tamba ya tumi kafoko adabe 2006 coup d'etat bayri ngun konole.
Abe yomar kiyama mbija mantra kalaka.
He's in heaven, I am here. Said, sir, you just have to persevere. And implicate Lang. Said Sukuta, and he answered, you have worked under me. But do you know me as someone who lies?
We have the audio, we have the video.
Inshallah,
video
Sukuta, do you know me as a liar? You worked with me.
For what?
Sometime. And I work with others also for some time. Today you are coming to tell me to implicate Lang. I said, Sukuta, I will not do it today, I will not do it tomorrow, and even if it means dying.
And how did Sukuta or other members of the panel react to your statement?
Sukuta waranto moko do nyo kota mon men do kafo nyinto mune kete la no nyati ako nyinko
ni wati kono ni wato ni Sukuta le beti amola.
At this moment, I was talking with Sukuta.
And what did you observe? What was the essence of getting you or suggesting to you to implicate Lantombo?
Ite la ku korosiro do mune ku kumayata ko nyinko no kaje ko ite Lantombo ka dum ko kuleta nyinto ka to faje ya dundi.
Ngami korosije.
What I observed,
Be kuku katoto wala kalamuta.
all their efforts they were doing is to implicate and get Lang.
Adunji kitako niya mute laftala nyami safano.
And I believe that if they could catch him as they wanted, they can even kill him.
Nte tetara o mol kono milbi mako ila koke.
And I was amongst those that we are going to assist them in doing that.
Did they promise you any rewards?
Ntekela moti.
Foi la
Ntekela moti mi yalo ka be mako ila purko ku sifar ke hadama dingala minten sako moni yalo ko nabi do ko.
I am not the person who will assist them to do such things to a human being, especially someone that I am working with.
So
ngani ne foy ko nga lafta ni la hanna trambe fala yente fa barante kamola la wani moka.
I said to them, I prefer for them, even if for them, they would kill me, but I will not implicate someone else.
And thank you for taking a principal position. But did they offer you anything?
Fo yela hidi fenala ba
Ha na korosiro wala na jero ngani ne jako ni moke.
By my observation, I believe that if I did that,
Do bato aseke ni fenti mi yalon ko ase makamo dinano.
somehow it will be something that will improve my ranking.
Ase nafa fana dina mi seke no fiamati.
It can also give me other benefits in terms of possessions.
Bare unkamin tandila wolo nyinti ko te tambito stage la pour ka use ko kusifar ke min silo manta.
But what I made clear to them was that I have passed the stage where I would be used to do such things.
Ngani tandila je ko nintara dunia fengola wala makamo temal la fengola.
And I also told them that if it is things of this world, worldly things, or any other, whether it's knowledge or whatever, I am not interested.
So you flat out refused?
Yes.
Did they release you?
No.
But before that, those 14 other people who were present, did they say anything?
Before I get there,
perhaps you should just answer my question.
Right, sir.
Did they say anything? No. Did the others say anything?
3 individuals got up.
Who and who?
Numo
who?
Kujabi.
Solo who?
Solo Boja.
And who else?
Borakoli.
And Borakoli. And then what happened?
Idunta dulalto.
They got into a place, the 3 of them.
What kind of a place?
It can be a bathroom. I believe
so they enter the room?
Yes, they got into a room.
And then what happened?
For a while.
They were there for a while. Then they came.
Okay. Mata itana statement.
They said, okay, let's go, and they will take my statement.
And then?
Okay.
I said to them, okay.
Tata.
We went.
Investigation.
And
a statement.
And I gave my statement.
And what was the statement about?
Statement on Tata Nata 2060. Lantombong is part of it.
The the top and bottom of it is that in 2006, the coup attempt, Lang Tombong was one of the participants.
Well, and what did you say in your statement?
Ite munako fo ila kuma kan safari ngoro.
Amanke kuti memu tonyati je.
I said there's no truth in that.
Adu manta man sola afenne lebe minti na mimbi jalla mafani yafo mimman sutu.
And I don't need anything that they may give me, which will cause me to lie.
So how did me from
And that was written on the statement.
And was safeta ila kuma kan safari ngonyinto.
It can be, but I...
Did you sign a statement?
Yes, I signed a statement there.
And did you read the statement before you signed it?
The statements I signed there was not just one.
Do you recall on the statement about Lang Tombong, do you recall that you stated quite clearly that you have no knowledge of him being involved in the 2006 coup d'etat?
Fay hakilo sa mutano ko ila kuma kam safere ngoto men safe ya itandi jele ko Lang Tombong mo me alon ko malon fa e londi soto ngi coup d'etat bayre mo nyinto 2006.
Ngamin tandi je wolo nyinti ko akoytam adullata ko Lang Tombong monta 2006 coup d'etat kon.
What I put there was that it was clear to me, and I also believe that Lang Tombong had no part to play in the 2006 coup d'etat.
Anything for you about Lang Tombong Fanialo?
And Emeba also did not tell me anything about Lang Tombong Tamba. It was a lie.
Okay. So, after you gave that statement, did they let you go?
No, they did not let me go.
So what happened?
They kept me there at the agency.
For how long?
Till Danta.
A couple of days.
Because me bola jiwatu minafang mantara kendiare.
Because the time I left the place, I was not feeling well.
Were you given access to a doctor?
For ye mako le purinin doctor nyoje bang. Ha yen sambale bare eventually ko order sort of from solo bojang ko ikanang futandi loptano.
Yes, they took me.
Samba State Guard Clinic.
They took me to the State Guard Clinic, but later on they said they got word from Solo Bojan that they should not attend to me.
An order from Solo Bojan.
Yeah.
So woto ngabera atara for a drip so like bang for something like I don't know.
That time I think I was put on drips
to
or something else. In fact, I was surprised to find myself at the hospital.
Were you unconscious when you were taken to the hospital?
It's like
I wasn't aware.
Okay. Where were you taken afterwards? You said you were detained.
Yes, my two prison.
And for how long?
Well, for almost 3 months.
I was in Mile 2 for almost 3 months.
During that 3 months, did you have occasion to leave Mile 2 prison to go anywhere?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Mile 2.
They came to pick me up at Mile 2.
Who came to pick you up?
It was in the night.
Jumale Nate Kam.
Who came to pick you up?
Alaji Job.
Alaji Job. He was the RSM.
RSM for which force?
RSM Bunda Jumala. Prisons.
Prisons.
Was he alone?
Damalemba. Another team only not. Malon Jumala, Ani Jumanol.
No, he came with the team, but I don't know who they were.
And then what happened?
Kabila Munagada, Kabinati and Kumandi.
When they came, they called me.
Bunda Yele, yes, Samba Tabulot.
They opened the door and they took me to the table.
Jay Akabunta reception.
The place looks like a reception.
What tabulot, Eka booking Kije, book in, book out.
On that table is where they do their booking and book out.
Yen book out.
And they booked me out.
But in both tabulot.
But I was at that table.
They brought
Lang.
Lang who?
Lieutenant General Lang Tombong Tamba.
Lieutenant General Lang Tombong Tamba.
So in the meantime, Lang Tombong was also arrested.
Yes, he too was there.
And what happened afterwards?
They took me away.
And did they do anything to you as they were taking you out?
Yes, I was handcuffed.
And what else?
At some point, they blindfolded me.
But at that time you saw Lang Tombong, how was he? How did you see him? How was his condition? What was his condition at the time?
Maybe mile 2
Maybe inside mile 2. But we never saw each other.
So it's like sutu yente fintin ngaje katinati.
But it's like, as I was being brought out in that night, I also saw him being brought in. As he was arriving, I was going.
But from your observation, how was he? Was he okay? Did he appear normal?
Yes,
at that time he was okay, but I don't know health-wise how it was like.
For at least almost a month, weeks or months.
At this time that I am talking about, I was there already for some weeks or close to a month.
So you met the panel only once, is it?
Yes,
I was taken there only once.
And you denied knowledge of Lang Tombong's involvement in 2006? They took you back to mile 2? They did not bring you back?
They came to pick me up in the night.
So tell us about this first time when you were taken out at night.
Gabriel Fintindi, yen futandi agency.
When I was brought out, they took me to the agency.
Which agency?
Agency Juma.
NIA.
NIA.
And what happened there?
Yen Serandi Santo.
They took me upstairs. As we were climbing up,
the conference room
that we went to, when I got there, they switched off the light. Those who switched off the light, I did not know who they were.
I did not see that. Melong, okay. I didn't know them. All right, proceed.
I was handcuffed. I had someone say, sit on the floor. I sat down. I saw someone bringing a polythene bag and put it over my head. And then they started to question me. If you don't speak the truth here, we'll kill you. And they were squeezing my neck. And they tightened the polythene bag over my head. I think amongst them, one of them was smoking. And they put up the cigarette butt on me. It was very painful. Very painful.
For what?
I was there for some time. Then they said to me, you see this? This that we have done to you?
Example.
It's an example. If you come back here again, you will regret it.
Did they beat you?
Yes.
How many of them?
I cannot say. Because I have not seen them.
Did you recognize any voice?
For a council day, more council day,
No.
Did they wear anything to cover their faces?
For a fence, Mure Nyada Balabam, Pumokanisude.
No, something was over my face.
Your eyes were tied?
Yenyal City.
Yes.
A plastic bag was put over your head?
Buzo Yola Dui Kumoda.
Yes.
How long were you beaten?
Ilali Paroning, I want to get Delta Belipaga.
It wasn't that long.
10 minutes, 20?
Minute tang, minute wong, minute tan saba.
Atamita minute more.
It was more than 20 minutes.
Did you sustain any injuries?
Oh, Liparoning Corainar Nabar Molsuraba.
Yes, I got some bruises.
Where?
Minto.
My back.
What were they using to beat you?
Itara ke muna fandi muna la ke lipala.
Mano ezali muni bibulu. Because mbulo manfena mbulo be handcuffed.
I don't know exactly what they had because my hands were handcuffed. I was handcuffed.
How were you reacting when they were beating you?
What do you itara ke lipa? Ita ka kenyadi then.
Well, adimintal.
Well, it was painful.
Did you cry? Did you shout?
What I put to them was that whatever you are to do, go ahead and do it. If you want to kill me.
Did they ask you any questions while they were doing this?
Yes, they asked me.
What did they ask you?
Whether I was not in cohort with Lang on a coup d'etat.
Which coup d'etat?
Coup d'etat Juma.
2006 Ninkale, 2009
They asked about it 2006 and they also asked about 2009.
What did they say about 2009?
You muna for 2009 coup d'etat bayre ngonindo.
Whether they asked me whether Lang was not planning a coup d'etat.
It's an information.
I told them this is an information that is coming from you because I am not aware of it. They said you are not speaking the truth.
In the first instance, Sukuta Jame told you
Koye
wakili Lang implicate.
Persevere and implicate Lang.
But he encouraged you to implicate Lang. Falsely. You refused.
Balanta.
On this occasion, did they suggest to you to do that? For the 2009?
2009
Yes.
And what did they say?
After the beating, they took me back.
To where?
Minto.
Mile 2.
To mile 2.
And then?
They took me away from there again.
After how long? After how long?
I want to get LC. Ta.
I dul akatilul tale.
It takes days. Or a week. Because I just sit down and I hear my name being announced. They'll come, open the door, and I will go. And each time I sit down, I always have it in my mind that any moment they can come.
So what you do is
sometimes it will take a couple of days. Sometimes it takes longer.
And tell us about the second time.
Second time I went there, they said to me, are you aware that you are working on a coup d'etat? I said, no, I'm not aware of that. I think you are the ones who are giving me the information on that coup d'etat. Because I am not aware of any coup d'etat that has been planned. He told me, yes, we are aware that you have trained some people
Guinea-Bissau.
in Guinea-Bissau,
Ali kidol saye.
and you've bought them weapons.
Ali kulungul sang.
You've bought boats,
Be training.
and they are training.
Koya.
I said, really?
Koya nuwa ketante fe nuwa ketase kente jakaloti.
If that is the case, then that is surprising to me.
Atunde buka manta Bissau.
Because I have not gone to Bissau.
Buka Bissau call.
I have never called to Bissau.
Most of Bissau on safu mina nimi betara diamka.
I have no one in Bissau that I communicate to.
Adu mami na ngo na fulo so misa na se mol train in Bissau on tibija.
And I don't think I have that money to train people in Bissau while I'm here.
Nko ko hani.
I said to them, no,
Alkuma dofu.
tell me something else.
De taonte.
Not about the coup d'etat.
No information or based on aduna witness to.
They said, we have all the information and also we have witnesses.
Okay.
I said,
Who told
okay.
you that?
Male ofoe.
Paneloni.
The panel.
So, what time of the day was this?
Inkere tilo montoro wari juma.
That you appeared before the panel the
Sita
second?
nying alfa kafu nyati non men benku kisi ka.
Ninketa wuraran dingoleti.
It was
Jikola.
early evening after work.
And who was there?
Juma lebe nunje.
Nim panelist or the same
The
panelist.
same
These
panel.
panelists.
And then, were you beaten on that occasion while you were at the panel?
Wo ulungo nying tembo men abe kafu nyati ngono foye bute je fana neba.
Ani?
No.
So, what happened? Did they take a statement from you?
Mune keta foye kuma kaunta ibulle ba safero to ba.
Yes, they took statements.
And then what happened afterwards?
Mune nata na ke ku kerim kola.
Kabulu mo kita ye murundi.
After that, they returned me.
And then what happened afterwards?
Mune nata na ke ku kerim kola kotenke.
Inatan kam makotenk.
When they came to pick me up again.
What time of the day?
Te tilo mondoro wari nyati wari juma.
Nim fana mo wuraro leti.
This was also in the evening.
Bari nyi silo yen samba fenkele justice Attorney General's chamber.
Attorney General's chamber.
But this time around, they took me to the Attorney General's chambers.
And what happened?
Ntaka di samba DPP ya Chengen.
They took me to the DPP, Chengen.
And then what happened?
Mune keta wato.
Chengen konye ko akonye you are my friend.
Chengen said to me, you are my friend.
Okay, munenke la friend.
I said to him, what makes me your friend?
Akonye lafti makoila.
He said, I want to assist you.
Kay munto.
I said, on what?
Akonye ma evidence ol be soro janko atolbe coup d'état.
He said, we have all the evidence here that you are planning a coup d'etat.
Ali multri.
You have trained people.
Ali weapon also.
You have secured weapons.
Ali kulun also.
You have boats.
Allah container bije weapon ol bije ye be mutal.
Your containers with weapons have all been intercepted and under custody.
Kay yo.
I said, well,
Kay woto bantal.
then that's the whole of it.
Debe muneka la woto.
What can I do about it?
Akonye ha ya lo lafti makoila.
He said, no, you know, I want to help you.
Kay nyadi.
I said, how?
Akonye lafta ñil bije ñul mbete bondle konole.
He said, I want all the people who are there, we are going to remove you from them.
Typical state witness ladi.
And then you become a state witness.
Ye use against women.
And we'll use you against those other people, those that are left behind.
Number 5 kumoba.
I waited until he finished speaking.
Kaya ko ikonte mo ila friend.
I said to him, you said, I am your friend?
Kaya man believe wala.
I told him, I don't believe that.
Kaya katukan dundi fani yala kono.
Because you are putting me into line now.
Kaya but iman lanne.
It's because you do not know me.
Kaya before ite molle no ma puru na fani yafu. Nko untakela.
I told him,
no yake.
before you, people came to me, asking me to lie, and I refused. And there's nothing they can do about it.
So in essence, not only did the NIA suggest that you lie to implicate Lang Tombong in 2006 coup d'etat, the Ministry of Justice, the DPP, was also suggesting to you to lie to implicate Lang Tombong and others for 2009 alleged coup d'etat.
Munta amanke NIL dronti men yalon ko wollenyi so hamo dundi kono pour yelan tombon dundi 2006 coup d'etat bayri ngonyindo amunta hani ministry meme marde luwal nin kitindir kunyalla ila nyaton ko me marde kitindiro kunyalla meme DPP do fana ye kuma la kanyum kuma kam fo pour isilan tombon dundi coup d'etat bayri ngo menke 2009 sa
Lang Tombong and others.
Lang tombon na do nyo ko tangol pour isia dum ye dum 2009 coup d'etat bayri ngo
I told
him, Chenge, do not waste your time. Not even in my dreams would I do this. What is not the truth? I will not defend that.
And how did Chenge react?
He got up and stood. He said, you know, you are my friend. I want to help you.
So that it's free.
So that you'll be free. You go back to your work. I told him, you are not helping me. You are implicating me.
And what did they do to you after you insisted that you were not going to do this?
They returned me back.
Between the first, you went to the panel twice, and then they took you to Chenge, all right? Between those 3 occasions, was there ever a time they took you out at night? You told us the first time, which is after the panel. Did they take you out a second time at night?
Ko inande yesamba fo yesamba samba Chengen ya wala Ministry of Justice fo inana ke kanay no majele man sudo ke samba bang
imanna sudo nata wuraro le kotenge.
They did not come in the night, they came in the evening.
Jibat kola.
After closing hours of work.
Where did they take you?
Yesamba mindole
NIA headquarters.
To the NIA headquarters.
Who took you?
Jumale yesamba je
phone call no
soldiers were amongst them.
Like who?
Kamunda Juma.
State guard soldiers were I cannot remember Jumal.
State guards or state guards / junglers?
State guard do gulal bang for state guard never state guard nyar member to member nyar do mande wala mjongulal.
No remember Jumal Samba
I don't remember who took me that evening.
But you remember that they took you to the NIA? Kindly tell us what happened there.
Silang afanya bamune keta jero.
I think that occasion I was not the only one they took. They took me along with General Tamba.
Just the 2 of you?
The 2 of us.
And then what happened?
Samba identification parade.
They took us for an identification parade.
Tell us about it.
When we got there, they took us inside. We were seated inside.
Reception.
The reception.
How were you dressed?
The clothes I had on when I was arrested.
White phone column. White dress.
It was a white dress.
After.
Half-time.
Oh, 3/4 phone column dress long.
A 3/4 dress, I can say.
And then what happened?
Then Yening General Tamba Sindi Nyokanje.
We were made to sit together with General Tamba.
What in this sort of
We spent some time there.
Nata, the more jitana.
Then they came downstairs.
Well, after identification from Korekela.
Then they said they wanted to carry out an identification parade. When they said that to me,
this one is surprising.
I said, this is surprising. This surprised me.
Identification parade.
Identification parade. What reason?
How did they do it?
I said to them, now,
how did they do it?
They called us. Me and Lang. They brought people from the agency and they made them to stand.
How was Lang dressed?
Lang ayat feto fata sifa nyadi lel dum.
I'm a long sleeve level or something like that.
He was in Mufti.
I'm Mufti.
Amandra soldier uniform.
Those who were brought from the agency, what were they wearing?
Yemendu bondi agency woli mu fennel dum.
I'm a dole kaftanu dum dole fankodo.
All of you were in Mufti.
Albe so civilian fengol del.
Yes, we are all in Mufti.
Okay.
But Jannu be kela.
But even before that,
Left to explain.
that is what I want to explain.
Proceed.
The shirt that I was wearing,
Anotale, so much that Ngajiko alone no nina appeared.
it was so dirty that I believe that that dirt, if I were to appear with it,
Mumo binala identified.
anybody that came would be able to identify me.
Why was it so dirty?
Mune sabu da fo dondi ko nyanga nota.
Every year muta up to that day, wouldn't call Bembara.
I had the same shirt on me from the day that I was arrested until that moment, and it was not washed.
You were not afforded the opportunity to change your clothes.
Mansilo di la pour yela fengoni ya fali.
Yes, I don't see anyone, much more talk less of changing clothes.
When you were being tortured, were you wearing the same clothes? So all the blood and everything was on that clothes.
Yes.
Okay, so at this stage, what did you do?
What I told him. Those that came there, I said, the shirt I have is very dirty.
Identification parade.
And you say that we should go on identification parade. If you should present me in this situation, wherever you took me to,
Appearance do ya tan la konde mantra group ko.
even my appearance alone will identify me as not being part of the group.
How did the person respond?
He told me, wait, let me come.
Maritata.
The person went,
I want uta.
took some time,
Nim fiangol don natay.
then he came with some clothes
Ako ngado.
and asked me to put on them.
Odulato ko du.
At that place to wear that clothes.
Oh, okay.
Wato ko fiangol du.
To wear those clothes at that point in time,
Hakil fula soti.
I was not too comfortable.
Why?
Because I do not
know where the clothes came from.
So in the end, what happened?
In the end,
investigation
they took me outside of facing the investigation.
In your clothes?
I put on those clothes now. I have removed my clothes and I wore the ones brought.
Okay, and then what happened?
They took me out. They took me away with General Tamba. And then they brought other staff members. They asked us to stand wherever we chose. So in that standing,
who can identify?
To identify us,
the location
the location where we were made to stand.
I
felt that. It was not the correct place to make us to stand. Because you can make us stand there. Someone can be somewhere else. And he will identify us.
So what did you do?
When I saw that,
new identification is not going to be. Identification to me, I
said to myself, this identification process will not be proper. I said, I thought to myself that this is something that they want to use just to frame us. So that they will say later on that this is what we did and this is what came out of it.
What did you do as a result?
After that happened, they called that individual. He came. He just walked past. Came back. And he was looking at us. He went behind us. He stood. Then he moved closer and faced me. And he faced us. While our backs were on the, facing the story building.
And then?
Okay.
After he did that,
I point out.
he came and pointed me out.
General Tamba point out.
And pointed out General Tamba.
And then what happened after that? What happened after that?
After that, there was someone there.
But before that, who do you eventually got to know the person that identified you?
Yes, that
was Rui Jabi Gasama.
Did you know him before?
And never knew
Have you
before.
ever seen him before?
I never saw him before.
And then what happened? You were saying there was someone?
I got someone's comment.
This is no fucking, sorry to use that language. This is no fucking identification parade.
Who was saying this is not an identification parade?
Who said that?
One captain, Sehu Jalo.
One captain, Sehu Jalo.
From State House?
State House.
State House.
The guy who came to watch for Yaya Jammeh, what was going on? You said it, I did not.
Yes.
And after the identification parade, or the so-called identification parade, what happened?
They took us back.
To where?
Mile 2.
In between the first time you appeared before the panel and the identification parade, how many times were you tortured?
Ila findi di follow nyinke nati wal kafo nyati no ani waro mena fana yifindi ne ye nati nying identification pare wala suki kasude roge mola je fo ye li palama
Dulado to maldi parosto.
At some point I did not get beaten.
Because I couldn't find a comment do my lafang.
I even had a comment there.
It
was in the night.
But I come soldier.
It was a soldier.
Ako ngama kafa moya kafa sa nte continue la kanyinke nyula.
I think he was saying this to someone and he said to him, sir, we cannot continue doing this
to these
people.
Okay.
Because they have done nothing wrong.
How many times were you tortured?
I want to get them see ibe butela kelipa.
Nia kalamba wati fula. But he will be.
I got recalled 2 times. But the others. But the outings were more than 5.
But
the ones that I have difficulty were only on 2 occasions.
The other ones, can somebody?
The other ones, they just take me out.
Yes,
they sit me down. They bang on the table. They bang on the doors. It was dark throughout. But they will not touch me. What was the reason for them not doing that? I don't know.
Were you the one taken out, only one taken out on those occasions?
What will be it?
Do yenning General Tamba bondile?
On one occasion, I was taken alongside General Tamba.
Do yenning General Tamba and Moduge bondile?
On another occasion, myself, General Tamba, and Moduge.
Okay. So, you were tortured only twice?
Yes.
The second torture, tell us about it.
Second one, I was brought to the agency. They kept me there. Until night time. And then I was taken upstairs.
And then?
That too was painful.
What did they do to you?
They beat me.
How?
Well, as usual, handcuff all.
I am sorry, this thing is painful to talk about. But it is important that we have the details of what happened to you.
Masade nyingalo ni nyinkola ta pour ka nyinko dal kacha bari.
That's what I said, the same thing what they did to me.
The first instance,
Ku following
you were handcuffed, your eyes were tied, plastic bag put over your head, they were beating you, and someone put out a cigarette butt on your body. The second time, what happened?
The handcuffs, the lights were switched off. Okay. But they did not put a plastic bag over my head.
How many of them?
I don't know. It was dark.
They beat you? How long?
It didn't take long.
How did you react to the beating?
It's painful.
I know you said it's painful. How did you react to that pain? Were you crying? Were you shouting?
Yes, I was screaming because it pained me.
In your statement, you said at Mile 2 prisons, I would be taken out overnight for interrogations to unknown locations and torture sessions for more than 5 occasions.
Iko watu wameleka Mile 2 watu do ikane kama jele yesamba dinkiral to mealon ko ime long ikelipa je mealon ko akatafu sinya fo wati lulu.
So do I interpret what you say now to mean that you were taken out for interrogations 5 times, and during those occasions you were only tortured on 2 occasions?
Silam fonsi ni ko ni fasarno tenda ba wala nyinti go sinya lulol men be kela ke findi ni ke samba pour nyini karol ni jabiro le ku initema sinya fula don nam ye lipa.
Hani amanke sinya fula don.
No, it was not only 2 times.
Because
there was one day when they came to pick me up. That day was not for them to torture me. That day they wanted to kill me.
Tell us about it.
They took me from the prison. And as I was about to board the vehicle, someone grabbed me and tied my eyes. At the time I was in handcuff, they took me out. Where I was going to, I did not know. That night, they took me out from one vehicle and put me into another. The vehicles were running and I do not know where they were going to. But I did not know where I was taken to. But there was a time I had a discussion with someone in these days, and the person put it to me. That was the day that I was to be killed.
You mean that recently somebody told you that that was the day you were to be killed, the day you were taken out and moved from
amunta ikai lungo me vole nyin ku keta science ina de men nyimare men foyete lungo la nyin keta nyanna kela lungoti lungo men ye findi de ke sawndi ka ke bondi ka bo moto kata moto dodo lungo la nyanna kela lungo de nyanne fala lungo men amam me nyimare nyin foye.
Yes, and you say it was supposed to be you and Lantombong Tamba.
Andi ko nyanna kela iteni Lantombong Tambal.
Yes. I'll give you a piece of paper to write down the name of the person you had this conversation with.
Me kay to dile la nim peno pour ye nyimari to sa fe nyeme alon ko ina yin kacha sura mamme.
And Mr. Witness, it is all very interesting, but we have to make more progress. So, we would do that now, And because I don't have a blank sheet of paper, complete blank sheet of paper here, but we would give you another sheet to reproduce the same information later. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones, for assisting. Thank you very much. And sign and date the document. And if the person is a serving officer, tell us where the person was working. Sign and date. Put your name also.
Sign ye lungu nyingeje memu bi lungu di andu ye to fanankeje.
November. Thank you very much, Mr. Witness.
Inumbarabake, Sedo.
Thank you very much.
Inumbarabake, Sedo.
Pass it on to the chair. Mr. Chair, this is a protected information sheet relating to this witness. We ask that it be exhibited as Exhibit 176. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Council. Request granted.
Did the person tell you how you were to be killed?
He was
not among the killers.
But did he tell you how you were to be killed?
He heard that. He heard someone saying that these people, if God wills it today, we are going to do this to them.
What was going to be done?
But where are we going to bury them?
And did he tell you who these people were? Those people who were to kill you and bury you somewhere.
They were soldiers.
Ordinary soldiers, state guard soldiers, or junglers?
So na soldier na banko tang korda bala soldier ol bang fo jungulan.
I believe junglers also.
I believe they were the junglers.
Did he tell you where those orders came from?
Yes.
Tell us.
Solo Bojan ordered.
Solo Bojan gave that order.
You were head of military intelligence. Tell us honestly. You are under oath. Would Solo Bojang have the guts to order the execution of a former chief of defense staff and former director of military intelligence without the blessing of Yahya Jammeh? Would Solo Bojang have that audacity?
For Solo Bojang, ado sembo soro la warando jusbengo soto lale. Ka kango di mol katamo fa me yalon ko nana kita sojaro la nyaton koti. Aning sojaro la nyaton ko menana kete la nyaton koti la kudo maranya la nyila nyaton ko. Ama watra amang kango soto warando sembo soro kabona yaya jamea.
Magic.
I don't believe.
You don't believe what?
Magic no.
I don't believe that can be possible.
In a sense, you are agreeing to the proposition, to the suggestion that Yaya Jammeh was in the know.
Amunta wala nyindi ko ko nyinta beta na wala nyindi ko ida ko nyinna ko ba de sonda nyinna ko Yaya Jammeh adabe ko nyin konale aranda londo sota ko nyin konale.
I cannot
say that now because the one that told me, he said that even they themselves, they were surprised how or where Solo got that order from.
But you just told us.
Yes. The one who told me said that. When I heard this, I said, no, this cannot be. He said it cannot be possible. He said, I'll make sure today when they are going out, I'll follow them.
Did the person follow them?
Yes, he followed them.
And what did he say happened?
I convince.
He was able to convince the head of the team.
And who was that?
Jumala Mutin.
I can write his name.
I'll give you the same document. So against that name, write team leader.
O tumari toning sa dumaje asafeje atelam nyato kafo nyaton koti.
For that day?
Yes.
Walungi.
Council is team leader sufficient for you, the record?
Yes, the team leader for that operation. That's what he said, the team leader for that day.
Right, okay.
The person who was responsible for that particular operation. And when I see the name, I understand why he said that.
Execution squad is not appropriate, is it?
Well, we can say team leader for the execution squad.
Splendid.
Thank you very much. Perhaps you should write that. Team leader for the execution squad of that day.
Akoya safeje kafo nyatonko meyalonko atelem far lalla kuntiyo te wulumura.
So Mr. Witness.
Sedo.
Execution squad. All right, thank you very much. Give it to, and apart from your eyes closed, I mean something, a cloth tied over your eyes, and you being moved from vehicle to vehicle while these vehicles were in motion, and they were taking you around, and you didn't know where you are. What else did they do to you?
Ninga bota ke nyanyi city fabe kala fundol te man fabe kala muneti inata ne bulandi motola altata albe wudu kam motol bida be saunda moto kabo moto kata moto kabo moto kata moto mune nata na ke kotenke
jara fodula do to lota
Went up to a particular place and they stopped.
jita e motol bundail
They alighted and they opened the doors to the vehicles.
but on the side of the thing it's like maybe phone call California sea breeze.
But where I was seated, I was feeling sea breeze.
So akamulu fe dulala mi yalanko badalal.
So it appeared to me to be a place very close to the ocean.
Did they bring you out of the vehicle?
fo inata ne jindi moto yin kono la bam
Ani manjindi.
No, they did not bring me down.
Did they do anything to you to suggest to you that you are going to be killed?
fo e ku kela jeto la bang kay tandi la ko ikate fale
Ah.
Yes.
Ma suspect ko ñun ina dalilo le feke because ila wo operation o keta nyame ani order de si kananta is two different things.
Yes, I suspected that because the manner of that operation and what used to happen the previous times were not the same.
What specifically in that operation led you to believe that these people planned to kill you?
mune fam yeso iso bindi nyinna ko warando kay kala nyinna ko ilta itato do ko menna wala landi nyinna ko ita lafta la ke fanu
Ila motol prepare nyami
When they prepared their vehicles,
ani ye fop
Did you see it?
ya jela bang
hani maje
no, I did not see.
Okay. And what else?
in bar ndu tambutole kono
But I got into a vehicle,
ngalo ndu tambuto min sifa kono
and I know the type of vehicle that I got
ngalo
into.
ni kanan kam ka sama motol minna
And I also knew the type of vehicles they used to bring along each time they come to collect me.
ha nga feel ko something is gonna happen
So I felt that something was going to happen.
because ye already kabin dum ta do yen kam muta ye nyasiti
Because as I got in there, they held my leg and they put...
Well, that is trademark jungular execution.
ko umu jongula la silol de ka faro ke nyame
We have had a lot of evidence
sede andre jama soto
about a lot of people who were killed in that style of strangulation.
sede andre jama soto jang me alon ko jongula la wala mu la siloti ka mol fa nyamen
Do you know why they did not proceed?
yalo ne dalilo me asabu man tenteng bang ka okay
Yes.
Tell us.
fanye
ngami to safi
The person whose name I have jotted down,
kabin ay nyimoy
when he heard this,
the second person na command
he called the second person
The second person on your list.
on my list
se mo to fulan jaw yemen to safe sainde
bay nga ñine moy ka fol
and said to him, "This is what I heard them say."
akay ko bar mbel la fila nal bital
He said to him, "But I want, when you are going,
je include
to include me there."
That person on your list, the first person,
wala mo folo nyi yemen to folo safe
was also a jungler.
o fana mu mo fala jong di wala jongula
No,
The jungler is not necessarily Mufala.
wala fana mu jongula
hani
no,
malo wala
I don't know him to be one.
But that person
omari
was very, very close to Yaya Jammeh.
omari kita moldi me alon ko
All false.
akata bata yaya jame to nya fa fania
ha ala doku lalo
Yes, he works for him.
Okay. So the person told you that he convinced the second person on your list not to kill you.
omari nying o nyine foye ko atenata na yemo fulan jaw to men safe kayto bala diam tay pour ka sondino pour ikane fa
ha
Yes.
You believe him?
ila taala
Allah taala because I mean for wolo nyiti ko
Yes,
ya
I-
ya nyini ninka ya confirm niya fo ke bale president wolo order dia
That is, I believe it, because he said, "Yejimanyiminga."
ye solo nyininka
Okay.
ilafte solo nyininka ka confirm jani bokela ka confirm ya fire orders to the president wala
Because what he said to the second man is to confirm whether actually Solo got that order from the president.
Did they confirm it?
Yes, they verified it.
What did they verify?
It was verified that the order did not come from the president.
And did they do it? Of course, if they did it, you would not be here.
Yes.
But what are you able to tell what happened to Lang Tombong? You said it was the two of you.
Sorry.
What happened to him?
He was in another vehicle. We were not in the same vehicle.
But
we went out at the same time. I do not know whether he was taken to the same area I was taken to or to another different location. I cannot tell.
You were subsequently charged with treason together with other people. Lieutenant General Lang Tombong Tamba, Brigadier General Obi Mbai, Colonel Kausu Kamara,
Brigadier General Obi Mbai,
DIG Modu Gay, Ngor Seka of the NIA, and Ali Abdullah Juf businessman. And I believe Rambo, somebody called Rambo. Do you know whether any one of them was tortured?
I know that I was tortured. I know that General Tamba was tortured.
I believe Modu Gay testified that he was tortured.
Obimbai.
When he was caught in possession of a telephone, Ubimbai, he was accused of possessing a telephone. I'm aware that he too was tortured.
How about the others?
They could have taken them out when I am not aware.
The same cell.
Because we were not in the same cell.
But how do you know that these people you mentioned have been tortured?
Most of the time, General Tamba nimbe sambale ka sambale.
Most of the time, when they are taking me, they take him along.
How do you know he was tortured?
Because
I used to observe that what they did to me was the same thing they did to him when they are taking us out.
Do you see him afterwards?
We were not in the same cell.
Would you see him afterwards to be able to make an assessment yourself that he was in fact tortured?
I never asked him.
I didn't say whether he told you. The question is, when you see him, would you see the telltale signs of torture?
That's what I'm saying. My belief, and I believe that he too was tortured.
You were charged before court and tried. And you were found guilty. You're sentenced. True? And, yes. You are sentenced to death.
Yes.
How did it feel?
I was betrayed.
Why do you feel that?
Because I believe that. If I have done nothing wrong, nothing should happen to me.
Your view is that the evidence that was laid against you was false.
There is no iota of truth in it.
We received evidence from a witness who suggested that the witnesses were paid. To testify against you. Do you feel that way?
It's not that I see it that way. I also heard it that way. I heard it.
How does it feel? That the state would fabricate evidence against you and will pay witnesses to testify against you falsely, and you got sentenced to death. How does that feel?
It's painful. Very, 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 very. It's not that they took witnesses or they had witnesses they paid. It's not taking a witness and paying them.
A convict for that matter.
But to bring out a convict from the prison, you promote that individual and then pay the individual money. Implicate people.
The worst.
I take that to be the worst.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness. While you were in prison, your family and the families, the wives of all other convicts in the same case, made serious efforts to get a pardon for you.
True. Yes, our wives.
But none of that succeeded.
No.
And ultimately you were put on a list of individuals to be executed.
Yes.
Do you have that list?
Yes.
Could you provide it to the commission? Mr. Chair, we ask that the document be exhibited. It should be Exhibit 177. Well, 176A.
Yes, thank you. All these names?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Heavens.
There are lots of names on the list.
Yes.
But
he swore to that anyone whose name was on the death row, he was going to execute you.
Who swore to that?
President.
The president?
He has a name.
Yeah, Jemmy.
Do you recall exactly what he said?
I cannot recall everything he said, but I think he said that if he fails to do that, he will either drink alcohol or eat pork.
Well, that's not a difficult one. For some people, that is normal and regular. But I am sorry, it's a very expensive game by him. And in this list, your set of convicts were all to be executed. Do you know why your members of your set were not executed? Yes, tell us.
Lawyer, minketa Sif Marit Tambedu.
I believe our lawyer, Sif Marit Tambedu, he was not in the country, but when he heard it, that this guy said he was going to do this, made all efforts to see that whatever would be able to stop this execution, he did.
Like what?
To follow the course of the law.
Stay of execution.
Stay of execution.
That was very brave of lawyer Tambedu. And it deserves commendation. Among the steps taken, could you tell us what they were?
I believe I Anthony General contacted on this issue.
I believe that he contacted the Attorney General on the issue.
Minister of Justice.
Do you know who the Attorney General was at the time? I know you were in prison at the time. I believe it was Jobate. Yes, and then what happened? What did lawyer Tambedu, Sirif Tambedu for that matter, say to the Attorney General?
Sirif kamin bekele wolo nyinti ko ya make sure ko ikanan tolma because the case still is going on appeal.
You have not exhausted your appeal, your rights of appeal, which is a very important technical problem, technical issue. Your sentence was not definitive. And therefore you could not be executed. Very important point. That saved you.
Yes.
But there was some other convict who was executed who did not exhaust his appeal. Are you aware of that? But if you're not aware, it's all right.
What I want to say there, the execution was not for that reason.
That first execution.
The first execution.
Welcome.
That was not intended for them. It was intended for us. That was why when they went to mile 2, the prisoners in mile 2 that were to be taken out to be executed.
Because Jamani dolni miro minta. Idamali muneke yenyo sabale fu muneketa. Idamali diamo soto idamal teman.
They had an argument amongst themselves.
Because dol bije miliyan ko wol laftan tolle ngata yen tolle fa.
Because there were some amongst them who wanted us to be taken and killed.
How do you know that? We have to ask the questions.
I heard it. And when I made inquiries, it was through that inquiry that I got this list.
Who told you? You want to write the name or you want to tell us?
For isi amari to sabuno man fudum be lafila le kafu fana.
Hani.
No.
Because ni mari ngakalolek.
Because I swore.
It's not a very important point for us, so we leave it at that.
Amanki bunda kuma bati mtole woto nisa tute.
But ultimately,
Berikola bandulato.
you received. No, ultimately, your case went to the Supreme Court.
Wala bandulato yela kito samba Supreme Court.
Did anything happen to your sentence?
For kule nata ke ila sorondu ila
Sentence.
sen ila ye melle kanko nyanta mankele la birin ye tumi. So kule nata ke jeba.
What
Yes.
happened?
Uneketa.
After Janim Bita Supreme Court, I saw some seconds.
Please go ahead.
I want you to spare me some seconds even before I talk about the Supreme Court.
Please go ahead.
Janim Bita Supreme Court.
Before getting to the Supreme Court,
That on Court of Appeal.
we went to the Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal is 3-man judge.
Court of Appeal is a 3-man judge.
Or 3-woman judge.
Okay. Okay. Justice Wowo Soto as the president.
You had Justice Wowo as the president.
Yeah, another Justice Molo.
The other justice, I do not know.
I did not remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Justice Ngom Soto.
There was Justice Ngom.
Aminata?
Malum, but it's Ngom.
I don't know, but
Female?
Female.
So ha.
Atella kuya nambe diamula nyim issue la.
it is because of her, that is why I'm talking about the issue today.
Na first day of appearance, nkafinti court nyati wala appeal.
The first day we appeared, as we appeared before the court,
President
the president
of that court of appeal. Ako abe na case dismissed.
said he was going to dismiss our case.
Untola appeal,
That our appeal,
untol ma sign.
we did not sign it.
Na lawyers will lay aside.
But it was signed by our lawyers.
And then?
Ukola.
Okang abe na case dismissed.
And for that reason, he was going to dismiss our case.
Na lawyer,
Our lawyer,
menkita delayed pap chair in Seka,
who was PART3 in Seka,
and in Sirif,
and Sheriff,
and in our sister Sabali.
and our sister Saboli.
Pap chair in Wulta Ako,
PART3 got up and said,
mimbe prison,
those in prison,
ye appeal olek.
they made an appeal.
Do fana mimbe prison nunje.
Those of us who were in
Fananga appeal
prison,
olek.
we also made an appeal.
Adu wo appeal.
And that appeal,
Na tom print le.
we printed.
Oto nata appeal itoli min dundi ma accept.
If the appeal that they
Lawyer
submitted
sole min dundi ma
was-
accept.
is not accepted,
Oto ndola appeal nga min dundi at the prison, yanto accept la.
then our appeal that we submitted while in prison, they should accept it.
Wo ko hani.
Who said no?
Atela phone koto I mindi. Ala verdict I mindi.
The verdict he gave.
The other judge ko hani.
The judge said no,
Ko woman ke siloti.
that is not proper.
Ni musundu Mrs. Ngom, Justice Ngom.
The lady, Justice Ngom,
Ala kuma kamota I mean for.
from her own statement,
Ako for the dispensation of justice.
Dispensation of justice. Wala mpuka lua la kamota amandi.
Ni be mile 2 ni ka tom print olek.
those in mile 2, if they would thumbprint,
Adu kana appear tol nyato.
and they used to come and appear before
It
them,
is so special for us not to appear before them.
Muna na woto telefonalite funtino la inyati limula.
So they overruled Wowo.
Ha.
Munta ye wowo la ko ya.
If that is the case, then the court is adjourned.
who said that if that is the case, then the court is adjourned.
But ultimately,
Sorry, for the before that court.
just a moment.
Okay.
We have to, because of time.
Okay.
We have to.
Okay.
But ultimately, the case went to the Supreme Court.
Bari bandulato kito intata Supreme Court.
The most important thing is the final dispensation.
I have, sorry, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Ngasoto dalilo mi yar nan kanyifu.
I have a reason for saying this.
Because ibina kalamutala why in kanyifu.
You will come to know later why I'm saying this.
Next adjournment.
The next adjournment
Ye mindi na kana.
The day they
appear before that 3-man judge.
They gave us to appear before the 3 judges.
Obviously, that
the lady was not there. She was removed.
And was replaced by Nasi Sewada.
And they brought in Nasi Sewada in her place.
Since then, in the judicial function.
Since then, I never saw that woman within the judiciary.
I felt it.
I felt it very well. Up to today, I'm inquiring about her. I cannot identify her in public.
This is why
I am saying this. I want it to be known like that.
But no case not dismissed.
But that case was dismissed.
Not at the Supreme Court.
And then we went to the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court nak.
At the Supreme Court.
5-man judge. Five judges.
There were 5 judges.
In a case dismissed.
And our case was dismissed.
Or was it that your sentence was reduced to life imprisonment?
For review. Oh no, on review. 7 judges.
Oh, 7 judges, okay.
5 judges, the case is dismissed.
Dismissed, okay.
5 judges, went for the case was dismissed.
Oh no.
Went
Still.
for the review, and they said no.
Okay.
That are 7 judges.
They said we are going to pursue, and we faced 7 judges.
And these 7 judges, the Chief Justice was hired from Pakistan.
The Chief Justice was hired from
Pakistan.
Chief Justice from Pakistan.
And they returned a reviewed verdict of life imprisonment.
The voting went 4 against 3. 4 says life, and 3 says death. Eventually,
life prevailed. And this was in 2015.
2015.
Something like that.
Yes. How did you come to be released?
By presidential pardon.
I took it to be a presidential pardon.
When was that?
2015.
2015.
Just before, 1 year before elections.
July 22nd, something it was announced.
It was.
So you were in prison from 2009
to
2015.
2015.
What were the conditions of your incarceration?
Nothing is good there. All these periods I'm talking about, I was not able to see my family.
You were denied visits.
Yes.
In fact, a circular was issued precluding the staff of the department your wife worked for not to go to the prisons or not to visit you.
Directive akana na visit prison.
They sent her a directive asking her not to come to visit me at the prison.
According to my understanding of the law, yes, death row inmates are not entitled to visits. But the whole problem with this is that a circular would be written and directed to your wife. That is the problem. Could you let us see the document, please?
Sa intela fahamuro lu ala karola meni ya lonko ibe kasola inyante fala kanyine londiko mo manya natale ikumpabola barbito bekan ina ta kaito le safeka kiwo mole purnin kammala yo kawo men fonya wasilo ikana kumpaboro soto laftayo kaito le bondinga ajibe.
pass it to the chair. It should be Exhibit 176B, Mr. Chair, if accepted.
Wakola na musol. Yentol mi muta na musol ya appeal ke.
After that,
President Odani pro audience la na kacha.
the wives of those of us who were in prison
Letter Jamal Safi President
wrote many letters to the president,
but a manson keji.
but he did not accept to give them an audience.
Na a lawyer fane Safiroke on our behalf, Sirif Marit Tambedu.
Our lawyer, Serif Marit Tambedu, also wrote on our behalf
President Odani Puru as a Yanfa Kenyi.
to plead with the president to offer us clemency.
But how do you obey?
Despite all of that, he would not accept.
But at least at the end of the day, you got a pardon on July 22nd, 2015.
Yes, that happened, but that was not his intention.
Why do you say that?
Follow.
First of all,
Danilo Jamale Ketai.
many appeals were made to him.
Minketa alifalti itatawali mpaka diama
These were elders who had gone to meet him and to plead on our behalf.
amanso abalantakar.
But he refused completely.
Ako
He said,
fo nyato.
later.
Fo nyato akamune batu.
So later, what was he waiting for?
Wolo Supreme Court la last verdict towards us.
That was the last verdict of the Supreme Court towards us.
In all fairness to him, he has the prerogative of mercy, and he could have exercised it at any point in time.
Correct.
Katuno safono wo bebe keke ntunu wenna nyim sembo batele bulu pour ase yamfano moye andun ase yamfano le natara abato
Ama yamfo wato minnan solata yamfo la fo kabra lon ko sai nga life sentence soto mote malo because momo e maji amunta kati fango be impliqué la.
He did not pardon us when we needed it until we were given a life sentence. At the time, he knew that he cannot do anything to us now.
But this is all speculative.
Adun jan
bari nyimbe amunte
la dalilo so muna ngafo
The reason for saying this,
janni abembula la
Proceed.
so he would release us.
ay directive niko ay milbula mokar e kana document di mol.
He gave a directive that those that have been released, they should not be issued with any document.
How do you know that?
Ngana ID card samba ngana fonko sama passport or samba to renew it.
I took my ID card and passport for renewal,
And then?
Ye fonye ko
and they told me that
presidential directive shot.
they got a presidential directive
Ye release prisoners all in documents or manya.
that the released prisoners should not be issued with documents.
So what nko I pardon me for amantarato.
Therefore, I said the pardon he talked about is not really coming from his
Ay
heart.
dalilo soto miyar na imbula.
There was a reason for our release.
And with that information, what did you do?
Rio kibaro soto sila wena tamuneke
Kabingo kibaro soto.
When I got that information,
Tingaje ko.
I saw
Ferole belari.
that there is a plan being,
Ba man soto court silola.
since
Lua silola.
he could not trap us through the court,
Sen soto no sila dola.
he will be able to get to us using another means, another way.
Nte sila ngo patu.
And I will not sit and wait for that time.
Abanko bula.
So I left the country.
Where did you go?
itato min
Benu Senegal.
I was in Senegal.
For how long?
mi wati jelle ke Senegal
Mbota jan 2015 for 17.
I left here 2015 up to 2017.
When a new government was in place.
biri man sakunda kuto sita
Yes.
And when you returned to Gambia, did you make any effort to regain your position in government?
biri muru tanan Gambia fo ku katale bampuru isila palaso soton kotake man sakunda bulu
Ngakele.
Yes, I did.
O doli minke.
Just as others did.
What did you do?
yemuneke
Ntata PMO.
I went to the PMO.
A claim kije.
I made a claim.
Defense right.
I wrote to defense.
Fenke fana nadi. No, immediately nata fan. Sorry, immediately nata.
Immediately I came back.
And that are certain places that okay inform, like the security institutional katani lako muruntanan.
I went to various security institutions to inform them that I have returned.
Because Musa service chief Latino.
Because I was a service chief.
Surprisingly.
And I do not want to come here in a manner that will surprise them. That my coming was not to their knowledge. So I thought it wise to go and consult them and inform them that I have returned. While I was here during that period, I saw many things which surprised me.
I feel anytime ko army threat kabinata imagine ko say molon ti mi yang ko state threat.
When I came back, I didn't think that I am any more a threat to the state.
But nata kalam ta ko na finto fintin ka moldeje suto tilbulo ibeddo maka.
But I later realized that whether it was during daytime or at night time, whenever I go out, I see people, strange people following me. I said, I will not take this.
A petition was
I wrote a petition
to the Ministry of Interior.
To the Ministry of Interior.
Then Honorable Mai Fati Labije.
That time it was my Fati who was there.
Atandala ko mimbe keri nte tatala.
Show him that what is going on, I will not take it. This is my country and I will stay here.
And your claim was you were being followed by security agents.
All over.
Maybe we should all do that.
So, Mobe tried to very set but no reply.
So after writing all those videos,
that's normal. They have to do their work.
But imagine te bota min kono.
Yeah.
But imagine.
Definitely.
If I see something else creeping towards me, which I don't understand, I will take my stand.
So you asked for reinstatement in government?
And
government responded?
Respond.
Do you have copies of the letter?
Your letter of Yes, I have it.
And government accepted your request and reinstated you?
But
with retirement? Are you satisfied with the response of government? Give us the letters and then you would explain why. Or perhaps we should leave that point for your closing. Your choice.
Okay.
Well, on that note, Mr. Chair, I have no further questions for the witness, but I would just ask that the letters requesting for reinstatement and the response provided by government.
Mr. Chairman, letter la kwa kama nyininkar dosoto mbesedo nyininkala menna alimfana mansakunda na tajabi kumakangulu men la barbitum kulbelari wala nyama jang.
For those to be exhibited as 176B and 176C respectively. I have to wait for him to give me those documents.
Sa mbaba tulaprayo kaito ludinna.
Council, you recall the number for the last one?
We have 176 and 176A.
Okay, thank you. So request some.
So the two,
waiting for it. But
thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I am not putting in the request for clemency and all that.
Yes.
You know.
This one, this is I wrote defense. This is the petition I was talking about.
I want your request to government for reinstatement and the response by Personnel Management Office.
Okay. I made two requests.
Yes.
I made a copy of my reinstatement to defense.
Yes. Yes, but I need just the two.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Please pass them to the chair. Campi, I want the request for reinstatement, not the letter to defense. Mr. Chair, I have no further questions, and I hand over the witness to you.
Thank you so much, Council, and thank you, Mr. Badjie, for your testimony.
Chairman Council Numbara, ayete Mr. Badjie fana Numbara position takana CDRO la commission nyati lumla.
Just
sorry, Council.
Yes, Mr. Witness, when you give your closing remarks, I would ask that you talk about the impact of all this on you and your family.
Lead Council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry for that interruption.
No problem at all.
Council ko bitung sedo nibela kumu kumfala daming. Alafta yenyi mfana mfoji. Nyimman toro membe dunta kono ay men sababu ima ay toro men sabu ite kumunila dimba ya luma isi ofana mfo ila kuma kumolu kono be ila diamo kumfala daming.
Witness, before giving the floor to the commissioners to ask questions if they have any.
Chairman ko jalninga be silo di la commissioner do la pour ñinin ka roke ning ayatara ñinin kar be bulu.
Allow me to indulge in a realm of some irony.
Akoy si silo di la pour ko do lu jube be lar ñami.
I'll ask you quick quick questions.
Abe ñinin kala ñinin kar tarin sabala.
It could just be very quick answers as well.
Andu si akata ya jabi jabir tarin fanal la wakama.
During the period that you served as Director General of NIA,
wato men ibe Director General yala NIA,
did you torture anybody?
Fo yemo tajire yale bang.
Answer?
Akoya jabi. No, I didn't torture anybody.
Did you see anyone being tortured?
Fo nyim fananjele be moment tajire ya kanje bang.
Na manke mamma be barenga mojele min ko ya tajiriya.
I was not present, but I saw somebody who said he was tortured.
Were you told of anybody being tortured by your agents?
Foye nyim fanam foye ne ko mo sotontale ila do kulalu ila agentol yemen tajiriya. Yes, I was given that information.
The irony for me is former Director General of the NIA, who had listened this reply to the third question, had heard or it was reported to you that torture had happened on your watch, to become a victim of massive torture by your own colleagues or former colleagues.
Munta manketa akoko kumpa ko wole minti ko wairi yekibaro sotoko yemoje ko yemen tajireya ina takibaro fanan sotoko yemo tajireya andum ite fango otumo ite mudo ku bunda kunton koleti silanga ko bebo fanan be ko la ite fango ina ke moti yemen muta atew bunda akilimo la ke tajireya ji.
Do you dismiss that irony?
Fodu silang ebe balan na wala le bang.
Ani mambalan ko ye mol toche jole mambalan wala katu nga fole ko ngamo jele mi yaran ko yatanina.
I cannot dismiss that. I cannot dismiss that because I've already stated that I've seen somebody who was tortured there.
Adu amandi yanyi,
and I didn't like it.
Adu ngamo fanam bondi armed forces le na tata je.
And I also took somebody from the armed forces.
I
took him there and I've seen how he was also tortured. I didn't like it.
ngani ne mutako min kete tolla.
What I believe is that what happened to them, it could happen to me or even my son.
Adu ni kabilu min ngani place ota wala keta na fen foloti min keta na hamoti ka kele kabo.
And since the day I took up that position, this was my first intention to stop it completely from that from happening in that department.
Because many lonko jammanke na baluo dangoti dunya dole biye be konti bola na maral fengola.
Because I believe that this wall is not the end of everything. There is another wall where I will be judged.
Ibian konti bola le.
And they will audit me for my deeds. So I will not sell my other wall because of the sake of this present wall. This is why when they called me to lie against others to implicate them, I refused. I told them to kill me. I know why I did that. Because I'm a human being too. What I did to other people, if they do it to me, whether I like it or even to my son, whether I like it. Whether they did it to my relative as a DG, whether I will like it. I was watching, I was thinking about all this. This is why I said during my time there, jonglers that I've been hearing about, I didn't see even one of them to come and pick up somebody. I didn't see them to bring anybody there. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I wasn't aware of it. And I am 100% sure that the day I become aware of it, I will go home. I will leave. Because I know where I come from.
A final destination. And
I know that that place is not the final destination. Whether they audit me in this world or not, I know that there will be an audit session for me in the next world. When they called me to come here, I said I will not come.
And I appreciate TRRC and staff all encourage back. I'm convinced.
I appreciate one thing, the staff of the TRRC. What they did, they convinced me. But I have a reason for that also. What is not true is not true. Even if one is going to die, make sure that you tell the truth. I pray to Allah to do something which is always right, but not to do something which is wrong. And I thank God He did that for me. Before even taking over this position. But a human being is just a human being. Nobody is perfect. I'm just human. But it will not be my pleasure to sit down and see another human being being tortured. It will happen only against my will. But when I was arrested, I swore that what they accused me of, if it is true, I will not survive. If it is not true, whatever happens, they will not be able to do anything to me. And they were unable to do anything to me. And when I came also, I was denied a position. They refused to reinstate me. What I did, I said it is Allah's destination cannot be denied by a human being. And up to this day, I always pray and pray to Allah.
You're a very brave man, Mr. Badjie.
Mr. Badjie.
This was a key point for you during the morning testimony. I wanted to make sure that we have it firmly confirmed in our records. That's why I came back to the point again. Yes, indeed. You resisted coming to testify before us, and at one point when there was a slight delay, I said, did Mr. Badjie abscond? Did he run away?
Follow to biri balanta purkana sediaro la jang. Wobe ko la birin tarde onata soto purila finto. Nganyele miram ko Mr. Badjie dun korama mboriko.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, if you have any questions, I look at the commissioners on the left first. None on that one on the right. Bishop, you have the floor. Please.
Bishop le lafte nyininkala.
Thank you, Chairman.
Minumbara Chairman.
Mr. Lamin Badjie.
Mr. Lamin Badjie.
No.
During your time as Director General of the NIA,
Wato mebe Director General yala NIA.
Where the arrest,
Dame yalon ko momuto menketa.
The detention,
Anin kamolu sindije.
and the tortures,
Anin tajire yalu menketa je.
part of the job description of both you and your subordinates.
Fo wo mukulti me yalon ko alla do ko Kenya lom kaboyete fonla kata ila duma lan ko labang.
Ntela watu wo makamoto.
During my time in that position,
Man fenne tamimbe kala tajriyat.
I didn't accept anything which will be part of torture.
Katunka minfo.
Because what I always say,
Adunka mimira.
and what I always think,
Mbe kuku kela.
whatever I do,
Nyanta luwale normal.
I should follow the law.
Ni moy kuka amanya na minkela.
If somebody does something that is wrong,
Luwale berori.
there is a law.
Ndeketa Director General tifa.
I became a Director General.
But ni ndingo nati babute la fombe sonna.
But if they bring my son and start beating him, whether I will agree,
Wala ni mba manati wala mfama wala mbari mbe sonna.
whether they bring my mother or my father or my uncle, whether I will like it,
Nde sonna.
I will never take it.
Ntatala.
I won't take it.
Mbe do ko wala budala bari mba make sure la ko wote kela.
I will leave the job, but I make sure that that will not happen.
Wode wo mun koroliti. Wo man la fiala.
Yes, that is against my will. I don't like that at all.
What I want to know actually,
Lieutenant Lonna Fango,
that whether the arrest, the detention, and the tortures were part of your job description.
ako alafta melonna alla do ko Kenya kafo alinyanta do ko kela tenne fo mo muto ka mo sindi dula kilingoto anin ka mo tajireya fo alla do ko kono mu kulite me yalon ko ya dabula jele bang.
Ntela jeroto atiji.
According to my observation, these are not part of our job.
Dalilo miyat ngafon so.
The reason for saying that is
Tubabu la proverb do bije kafo, there is many ways of killing a cat.
according to the white man's proverb, there are many ways of killing a cat.
Niyamu ibe doko tale ba padonna.
Where if you see taking a stick and throwing it at something, like throwing it at a cat, it will, because you cannot get hold of that. But something that you've already got hold of. Because that thing, the object is already under your custody. Then what have you got to do? No. Just pass the thing through the law.
My final question. Is it right that you should have shelves in the NIA complex?
NIA la ofiso kono inyanda selo lu fongo soto na jele bang.
It's a more detained noji.
They can detain somebody there.
But
it should be based on the rule of the law. And even if there is going to be a cell there, it should go with the rule of the law. Anything that is against the law, That shouldn't be there. You catch somebody and put him in a cell. There's a duration for that. If it is over that duration, then you have abused that person's right.
Commissioner Kinte, followed by Commissioner Carr.
Commissioner Kinte, nobody, Commissioner Carr.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ndanga point ol men soto fula beje ol manke nyinin karti ol hakilola yemenje kacha kono le.
The points I have, two of them are not questions, they are just what you make of the discussion so far.
Ili mo bita esala kachale to ko nim palasol be dila molla. Ila London ila nobulo nim palaso nyanda tembela le saje palaso sitama ku.
One has to go with what the lead counsel talked about earlier on. When people are given positions, they must be qualified, adequately qualified for such positions.
Maralo kono
inside the management of the place.
Untibo ni karhandiro manyon soto je ni wol fielda maralo be fielda.
Well, to judge somebody and management are two different things.
No. In management, control is key. If it fails, everything fails.
Mararo kono kakulu kanyang kay mara akumayata bakele niwo mararo tinyata dron ko be tinyata le.
Nin karambunda be damen do wala mu nyinte ko eteye molu bili ko director general.
Where the position is called when they said the director general.
Kamem fo le director bele mbarol fana bele director wala mu nyinte.
Well, the other directors which are there, all of those directors, they also report to this director general because he is their boss. He's the leading director.
Wala ka yitande ko line of command be nyame mimbe du manyindo kala ko jibe nyame ka kontibo ka ragle mimbo e sandolo fananko kontibo wala nyama ragle mimbo e sandolo fananko kontibo wala nyama ragle fo director general men nyanda mobe kontibo la nyama ferola men nyanda landela.
As the positions follow one another, these directors also, as their positions follow one another, the most junior director is controlled by the director above him. And the director above him also reports to another director who will check and control him. And that's the chain link, how it goes up until it reaches the position of the director general, who is the top officer over all these other directors. In that,
Director General,
this Director General,
it
is not every day that he should sit at his table to do recordings and do everything. But there should be plans for him to be able to check what I am being given as information and what is being done. There is a way for him to see whatever is going on so that he will be in full understanding of the situation. This is why in your narration I felt very, very happy about the way you established the truth and how you decided to go about it. But because of what was going on, if you are not aware of it, you don't know, so that you can balance the two. Well, that's the place where things also should come out and emanate. As you being the boss, you should balance these two things.
Point of
the second point.
Brite imana NIA follow yemo samananje
before being the head of the NIA, when you were a soldier, you brought a person there. the way that person was treated and beaten, this following day when you came and saw that person, you felt very, very bad about the way that person was treated.
And Tonya la meeting follow biri e fonke director ti ila nanyoni ila natoya itandile.
And truly, when you were made a director general, your first meeting, what you made clear to them has shown your intention.
But nak hani bi nyunku kilo nyunjoy kilo ka garde roning ragle roke mankita walla wale atinna kambai.
But this one thing to be able
to kambai bute bake katun tenunun kufula ifango etara siri nyala ware nyimbambane mako ngam aliyemenke nungaje alni kata okana ket wala ke bali alat na kambai dun time be kono po problem ol tension ol laptatara altol ning drug squad ne whatever tema.
There are two things: to be unable to control and manage whatever was going on was the reason for what came to happen later when something was done to Cabo which you didn't like, which brought tension between yourself and the people of the drug squad. It's because of you, the lack of that control and management which should have been established in your way of working was the reason which brought that tension.
And what adna esala kaitoli ya itandi moments yata motalul de tela omaralu which is sutum kono yawolel mutari nyalla minta siloka.
And this is why, according to lead counsel's paper, about up to 50 people were arrested and detained in a way which was against the law. I said these things are just thinking which came out of the discussion. But what is my question? When this person was beaten, you said you swore that those people who did this beating, they will be punished.
Follow for ya sabatindile ka long jumale dabije ani mo lota bunda jumale to yo follow sabatindile ba.
First of all, were you able to know who were involved in that beating? Were you able to establish that?
That's more jumale dabula teje ani momo elodula jumale tamandi fokanyi mantora bake Lamin Kabul.
Who were involved in that torture of Lamin Kabu and who did what?
Commissioner Kinte.
I heard your statement, Commissioner Kinte.
Command and control.
You say something here about command and control.
Just
as you are seated here, it has shown.
But
today, anyone that comes here, you will notice that all of you have the same intention.
Chairman.
The chairman. He is the chairman. But he listens to you. And he has faith in you. If that was not the case, you would not be seated close to him. And that is what text work for. One person cannot take all the work. And I'm talking to you. I'm not talking about
time din na dron nela kumo jindi yede do mandinga kana sor na tenten ni on den ta phone wala aha tenten ngani wala kumat.
It's the intentions which are important.
Ngani wala kumat. Ni ngani yo keta kilinti dron.
If the intentions are all one, work becomes easy. And this is a place where all of you have to be one so that each one does their own bit. If I knew of anything that was not proper, it was my responsibility to ensure that I put a stop to it. But I am a human being with my limitations. Every human being has that. And every human being has limitations. Sometimes I'm engaged in something, I'm not even there. But I believe that.
The
one who is advertising to me, I should have faith in that person. I should trust the person. If I don't do that, the work becomes difficult.
Because if I am working with somebody, I will trust you and take you as somebody that you are me and I am you too. This is what I told my colleagues. This chair I am occupying, somebody was here before me. He has gone. Now I am here, I am on this chair. I will go away one day. Who knows who will come and occupy? Today, who was there? Today, who is sitting down there today?
As director.
He was under me before as the director.
So,
this is the world.
So,
what I believe is that a human being, wherever you are, whatever you do, do it rightly. Because you will have the reward. And not everything is waited for in the next world. Sometimes Allah rewards you here in this world. The hardships I encountered, had it not been for the help of Allah, I haven't seen anybody who can extricate me from there, because Allah knows what is in my mind. And I didn't hide it. Lies, fraud, wickedness. I will not be part of it today, tomorrow, and even day after tomorrow.
Yeah, abaraka baki. Amang jabi na katunko foye ya kontibo kele kalong jumale kuke moe menke. Wole manjabi malong.
Thank you very much, but the question I asked has not been answered to. What I asked for is, were you able to establish who and who were involved in the torture of Lamin Kabu and who did what?
Yes, I got information of someone that I mentioned here. It is a job. But what you are saying, everyone is working under someone. And I also take myself knowing that someone is above me. So whatever I do, I'll do something so that tomorrow it will not bring me something that will be of a shameful nature.
Thank you.
Commissioner Carr, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman.
Sorry, Mr. Badjie, for what happened to you. I just have a simple question, which is, what do you do now? What do you do for a living at the moment?
Say hakido Mr. Badjie. Mininkar solo yar ne bembulu lafta alo na saying ekamuneke ekabalu munela ekamuneke menke balundi.
Bibi mantala fenka.
Today, as we speak, I am not into anything.
Menna kordale kono.
I'm inside my home.
Na korda kabimbi je nga biti kono kijele.
But I had built a shop there.
Miliyaron ko ngedi mola.
Shops which I had rented out to people. And I get something there at the end of each month. But what is there? Anyone who is living, you will only walk on the path that God has written for you.
Be as a dear.
It can be pleasant today, bitter tomorrow,
sinindi idea.
The next day it will be pleasant again. That is God. So what He has put on me as a burden, I take it that God is the one that put that burden on me. And I also take it that it's only God who can take that burden away from me. I stretch forth my hands to Him and pray to Him so that whatever burden He has put on me to take it off me. But what is most important there, it went up to almost 10 years and I did not sit in the same place with my family. When I was arrested, my kids were small. When I was released, they were grown up. They released me. After a few months, I went away. I came back only 2 years later. If you look at that, that is a good reason enough for me to be together with my family. I came back not to look for promotion. I came back so that I can be together with my family and for us to become one. Because we were not together with them for up to 10 years. That for me is a long period. So today I see that my relatives, my family are people that they owe me a Jew, and I also owe them a Jew. And when we are together, our sustenance, by God's grace, we have not lacked. We are taking things little by little until when God answers to my prayers. But I know that God's calling will not will come.
The second, you mentioned your children. Are they going to school, and what are they doing right now?
One of my children is not here presently. He's in Dakar. Two others are at the college. I have children that I am a guardian to. They are also going to school. One of them completed school recently, but is not yet employed. I thank God because I never believed that I will sit together with my family. That I will see my family again. I never thought of that in my life. So God made it possible. So I thank Him. So whatever I get, I give Him thanks and praises.
Good luck to your children, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Oh, Imam, you have the floor. You have the floor, Ms. Hamza. Go ahead, please.
Witness,
Mam Jalo ko sedo.
I listened to you very, very carefully.
Akaye lamwe ba ke hakilola.
It's an issue that has been turning in my mind each time I hear matters about your service chiefs.
Ako kule ba sondo mo kono menka mini asondo mo kono wati o wati naye nyaton kolu la kuma moy menketa service bunda la nyaton kolti menketa kanton in tankada moluti.
I think every one of the service chiefs suffered seriously in the hands of junior officers.
Akaya mira wo kanto nyaton kolu kiliwo killing amariye kolya jaw balu taki afang la dindingulu bulokono menu betulu yeduma.
I'm very much touched by when you told this story about your young officers coming into your house, breaking your door and forcing you to come out with them.
Ako nyinketa ye kuti mendunta sondo mola ite fang me ya lonko dindingulu menu bete koto sojari ya bundala wolu kana ka sawun ka dun ila suokono ke la bunda katika tinya kana dun ila buokono. What
do you really think is responsible for this situation? Related to the training you have given over the period and the relationship between senior staff and junior staff.
Ite karango yiriko lumenuke ila palasoto aniye makamu memara niyo fana njube yena wala ateli nyaton kolu min dindingulu tema menu bali eduma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Imam Baraka.
Thank you, Imam.
I
heard your statement. I believe that any human being should be disciplined. And discipline is that whatever you are doing, wherever it is, it is good to do that in an upright manner. The junior officers who engage in this kind of behavior, I will not, I will not,
I will not criticize them.
I will not criticize them.
Kadunko ila londo ila makamo le manfuta ila ila makamo le manfuta o tembo to kele fangol koros.
Because they are not endowed with the right senses to be able to.
What I can say about that is that their maturity is below their age.
Those of us who send them out on such errands, we are the ones that's supposed to question ourselves. Why are we doing this? And this is what I tell them. Discipline is everything. Today, the position that I am in, there are things, when you want to do them, I'll tell you, I don't. Whatever you want to give me, because it is not in line with the law. I think I said that here in my testimony. If not for that, today, on Saturday, they would have told, you said this to so and so, you did this to so and so. But I got to the stage. But because I said I developed from a young age to where I am now. That's why I keep saying, whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever advice we give, let it be something that is in line with the law and something that is truthful. If it is something that is upright, so that even when you get whatever you get, you can stand up and say proudly that this is something that I deserve. But if there is no truth in it, it will become a problem. And these junior officers, I told you, these ones we are talking about, when they were coming to me, they were not themselves. Because if they were themselves, they wouldn't have touched me. They wouldn't have touched me. And in my statement, I said that while I was in the vehicle, I spoke to one of them. But I asked him, why would you break my door and find me where I was lying down on my bed? And he said to me, sorry, sir. Instantly, he became sober. This is the world.
As Director General.
Since I took over the position as Director General, up to this day that we are here, I never put any security officer in at my gate. I move freely just the same way as other people because I know how I'm like. I don't want to make anyone suffer. I don't believe that I made anyone to suffer, and no one should make me suffer. And when I took the position, I never left my home. I have a small house. And in that small house, that's where I am. That is what gives me comfort. That is mine. That is what God has given me, and that is where I used to sleep. That is my observation.
Mr. Badjie, you may proceed to make final remarks if you have any.
Mr. Badjie,
my apologies. Who is asking? Imam C, you have the floor, please.
Yo, Imam C left in Kala.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
We extend greetings to you and begging for your forgiveness about what happened to you. Today they will give you respect, tomorrow they will bring problems for you. How I saw things, the way you were going before, whatever position they give you, it looks like you, the person, you don't have any say in it. You cannot stop anything and you cannot order anything else. Those who came to your home And there were people who were under you.
So gisee ñu ñëwé non ñaka teggin bobu.
The reason why they came with that way of rudeness,
dañ leen ko dik.
Somebody ordered them. Had it not been that you thought about your kids who were lying down there and your wife, the positions that we went through in the work of a soldier, the way things went, we wouldn't have ended in that way. But you thought about your family and wife. Had it been at another place, if somebody comes to you in that way, it won't end in that way. The type of government that we've just come out, may Allah help us and prevent us from getting any government like this. After that, however big your position is, if you order for something good, you give good orders. Even before going out of your office, you see your juniors come to your office and commit some things there which are so bad. Then that shows that we were living in a hell. But I just extend thanks to you for that. Thank you.
And you may please proceed with your final remarks now.
Saying Mr. Badjie isi tenten yela kumakamulu fo ilafta kacha kumfala menula.
Barka Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I will extend thanks and praises to Allah. Allah who made it possible for me to be here today. It was very hard and it was very, very painful.
Bare wakita nyaonya bi alanata mabendi binyo lunwala kanaka si nyindinkirato ka diamuna na kolyala anina dimiu.
However hard it was, but Allah preserved me and helped me to make it possible for me to come and sit down here today and talk about my ordeal.
I
would like to say something to the commissioners who are present. According to my what my observation is about my stay in the country here. And what happened to me? Where we were at mile 2. When I was there with people like me. When changes took place, these same people, they were all reinstated again in their former positions. And they were given their pay. They were sent on missions.
On retirement.
And I was taken on and I was sent on retirement.
I'm due for retirement.
And I'm not yet due for retirement. What is the cause for that? This is something which has become food for thought for me. And I think that we are all equal in this country. If they catch me and put me in jail, they said I plotted to organize a coup in this country. They brought another person and put him in jail saying that he also plotted a coup. And afterwards they said, well, we will work with Mr. So-and-so, but for you, go home. Rest from work. That's something very puzzling. I've seen no justice in that. There's no justice in that. Between me and Allah, I haven't seen any justice in that. I know what I went through. Because I know what we were alleged to have plotted is not true. Not even a single iota of truth is in it. Because all those who were incarcerated along with me, most of us didn't know each other.
Abundako na ilanka fo nyokang. The reason for us to come to know each other or become acquainted is when we were all brought together and placed at one place. This is how we came to know each other. So what I observed in this whole thing is that there is discrimination in the whole thing. On my side, I was not dismissed. Armed forces. When I was going to the armed forces, through the recruitment procedure. I went through the recruitment procedure. They gave me a letter. You are selected. They told me that I have been selected. So period training. You are going to do training for so period. That training complete. I did my training and I completed it. Confirmed. And I was confirmed. Kabim ibeng appointed as in positions. When I am appointed in positions, they gave me letters for those positions. When also they redeployed me, they gave me letters. So if they want to dismiss me, why didn't they give me a letter to inform me that we are dismissing you from the system? That didn't take place. When I was going in, I went in with a letter. When going out, I should go out with a letter. But man dismissal letter. I didn't get any dismissal letter. I just got a retirement letter. What happened? Why is that? That's something which I want to appeal about. That's something which I want to know. I have no powers. But I hope that if you have a disease, you go to a doctor. It is incumbent on you to explain your disease to the doctor. Then if there is a way of treatment for your disease, the doctor is the right person to give you that treatment. After that, commissioners. When I was arrested, I was never afraid. Because I know that however long it is, I will be released one day. And the reason for that is a very clear reason. I said, this country, we follow laws. There are laws in this country. And we will follow those laws. And if we follow those laws, I will not be incarcerated in a prison. I had that hope with me. Because of that, whatever they did to me, I had the hope that one fine day I will sit down and narrate this. But later on, I became somebody who became disillusioned. And that disillusion came from the area where I should have justice. Our justice system. I would like I would like that to be looked into, the justice system in the country. Because somebody who has been offended has no hope except for the law in the country, which is a courthouse. And if you have that hope in the court, and that court became a court which turned to be a kangaroo court, well, now, where are you going to get hope?
I prepare my bundle. I send my those bundles to my home and told them tomorrow, by the grace of Allah, I'm coming. Because truth will be established. Death sentence. I go there and now they inform me that I am going to face a death sentence. Had it not been for the help of Allah, I wouldn't have been able to sit down today. Because what I thought and what later happened to me is far from each other like the earth and the sky. And that brought devastation for me in mine at our courts. Mr. Chairman. I want to make an appeal, Mr. Chairman. I encountered serious hardship. And these difficulties took a long time. And I believe that whatever hardship one should encounter, you alone will not take it. Well, you have to share it with other people. In these difficulties, during the time of these difficulties, I missed a parent. He was or she was unable to take it. So I extend thanks to people, those who stood by me. My parents, my family, my wife. My sincerest thanks to the lawyer who stood for me, Serif Tambedu. Our Sister Sabali. Lamin Kamara. Justice Jibujane. Raymond Sok. Mrs. Ngom. And the late Pap Chiasin Seka. Amantara Balulimbe. Aladana for Alasinema Ninkafarka. And the late Pap Chiasin Seka. May Allah grant him Jannatul Firdaus. Barimba Fola Dimbali ko I kukendo ken mulien. But I would like to inform his family that he did good things to people, for people, especially me. I haven't forgotten. I still have my mind on his family and I'm always praying for him. When I was in these difficulties, true, there were people in the group who were standing by justice. And those people, some of them were soldiers who were in uniform. They didn't look at their positions, but they went there just to speak the truth. And there is one person, I will not leave this place without naming him, that's Sehu Jalo, because I've seen his stance, where he stood for me. And I know what he tried for me. If you are sitting in a group, people should walk with the truth. And when we reach a day like today, I will say what the truth that he tried to establish for me. So I think that I shouldn't leave this place without mentioning him. When I left here, I left the country and I went to Senegal. Where I went to, I was not born there. But there were people who were there who stood for me because of Allah. They didn't even know me. But they stood for me and made sure that whatever I need, they get it from me. Whatever is the case, I would like to thank and hail all of them. One of them is Sidi Gassama Amnesty and Aliutin of the Amnesty. UNHCR in Dakar. And UNHCR in Dakar.
yen dema yen sutura.
They helped me. They supported me. They gave me sustenance when I was in Dakar.
Adu wajibu
and it is incumbent on me. If somebody does something very good for you, thank that person and extend sincerest thanks to that person. They did it for me. Maybe they did the same kindness to people more than 10 people. But so it is incumbent on me. If they do something good for me, I should talk good of them. Where I was, my mom and dad were not present there. And I have no relationship with them. But they had concern for me. This was their concern for me to live the way I should live. They helped me, they sympathized me. Then it is really good for me to thank and hail them for their stance. Mr. Chairman, during our detention, Gambians stood for me to see that. And in non-Gambians. And even non-Gambians. Those who prayed for us. And at that time we don't even know them. Somebody even went through fasting for me. And I was not aware of it. That person saw the difficulties we were in and decided to fast for me. To pray to Allah so that we will get out of those difficulties. And Allah paid and rewarded that person's stance. Then it is good to extend thanks to Gambians and those who are non-Gambians. Those who stood for us. Those who prayed for us. Those who fasted for us. Those who appealed for us. May Allah reward them. Those who are here and those who are outside the country. Because we have people who are praying for us here. We have the same people out of the country who are also praying for us. So thanks to Allah. Then I pray to Allah, may Allah bring peace and blessings to all of them. Mr. Chairman, I had a position before I was arrested. I worked with some people. And I worked in the country here. So today, if I sit down here, armed forces, those I worked with in the armed forces, agency, those I worked with at the agency, I thank all of them. Because I cannot do anything by myself. If you hear them saying director, int and security, there are people working under you. If there are no people under you, you will not be a director. If they say director NIA, it was not only me. There were people under me. Those people under me, it is incumbent on me to thank them and praise them. The time when I was holding that position, they took me that as we all belong to the same family. I have nothing to say except to extend thanks to all of those people doing in the service. Mr. Chairman. Finally, my thanks and praises to all of you. Commissioners. You and all the other commissioners. Your staff, TRRC. I said that I will not come. Initially, I said I will not come. I said I will not come. A rule for one is a rule for all. And I said a rule for one is a rule for all. If you have children biological children.
Itate kuke manyana minkela.
They went and did something which is wrong.
They
all come back.
You
take a stick and punish one of them.
You
take the other one and give him a mint. And they all committed the same offense. So the one you punish, would he like you? No. If there is truth. We did it. Beat all of us. If you want to give a mint, give us all the same mint.
What?
So then, this is why I said I will not come. But your people tried very well. They are brave people. Even today in the morning, it was tough. You were sitting here, but you didn't know what was going on. But what was going on in the office? They are brave people. They are brave as a lion, but I'm also brave. But whatsoever it is, it all falls to one thing. My refusal to come is placed on something, on a reason. Because I believe in justice. Is it today or tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know, and nobody knows. But may Allah make it far away from us. Everybody is standing on your feet. You will lie down one day. Let's always think about that. Let's make it our way of living, our way of doing everything. I have nothing else to do except to thank and praise you people. Before leaving the prison, I said I have left everything to Allah. I told you people that I will not come because I left everything to Allah. Whether you people will be able to do something which is more than Allah's intention, they said no. But we need you. Now I came and answered to your call. I'll say thanks to you. May Allah reward all of you. May Allah make peace prevail here. May Allah give us all one mind in the country. Gambia is belonging to the Gambians. We are all one. We are all the same family. If you touch one person here, it will reflect on another person. We've been sitting for quite a long time. I appeal to you all to forgive me. I am just a human being. I might have said something which is wrong. It's not my will. Or I would have done something which I shouldn't have done. It is not my will. It's not my will. I'm just a human being. And no man is perfect, so I appeal to all of you. You people sitting down. The people, the citizens of the country looking at us. Here and outside the country. I appeal to all of them to forgive me.
Thank you very much indeed. Although we weren't in the consultation room behind, we felt the heat coming out of that area. We talked to our technicians and they told them, please go ahead, increase the air conditioning because it's really hot.
Inumbara mantara ubungo kono nunkoma je barimbe banda nyawnyandi jammafa ngalangalonko je kanditale nung hanfo mkwali je lafonyo suma lafa fo kando membi je fasibo.
The lead counsel and his excellent team and the staff of the investigations unit, they didn't give up. They stayed on you, and I think you have vindicated their views.
Na lead counsel memo na nyaton koti luala karola anala do kulalu men ba noma anin TRRC la do kulalu anin men ya lon ko wolle fanal fidate makadiya mu yed men kata TRRC la do kulalti ya kata hanfo ye kutu kata la kan pour nyin kamala keson de purena.
We thank you very much for coming to share your account of the violations and abuses that you endured at the hands of your former colleagues.
Mbenumbarala ñin kammala isonta kana CDR la janka satanye yeman toro nin bata men taki min ya lon ko ete fango do kuño fololu wolle fango nata muru kaw ku yawlu kela.
And we take note of the suggestions and points that you had raised in your final remarks.
Andu ila kumo kumfadula to fanan ye kuma kangolu menu fo ye ya marolu menu fo ani yelo dalu menu yitandi mben hakilo tula wonu to bakele fanante tulaji.
We thank you again for coming to testify.
We will
end our proceedings here for today as well as for the week and resume Monday morning 10 o'clock. You all have a very restful weekend. Thank you all very much indeed. Oh, sorry, Council has one procedural point, please.
Well, Mr. Chair, just please to remind that according to your timetable, the work plan we should resume on the 7th.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Thank you very much.
I just want everybody to come every day.
Homer may have nodded.
Yes, indeed. Fine. We will make announcement on the resumption date and time again. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the weekend. Merci. Au revoir.